what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Chicago Bears and the Oakland Raiders. Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On second and 11 now. Carr, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he's going to go down again. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
That's taken on the 25. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Open man is Trey Burton. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. 3 ball.
On the ground with a rookie from Iowa State, David Montgomery. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Trubisky will throw. It's complete. It's Miller. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down. They'll run with Montgomery. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Trubisky. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Looking deep for Hilton. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And he's got his man Hilton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From midfield, here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Carr. Complete to Hilton. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mike down. You ready? Okay, defense. Okay. Raider 2. 59.
Carr now on first down. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Go.
To throw, it's Carr. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
29.
Now Carr again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And the drive starts with a completion left side. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. 22 yards there, a first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Trubisky now to throw on third down. Finding Gabriel complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Hey, alert. 18. Get the ball. Big stop.
Here's Trubisky. Going deep this time for Miller. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Trubisky and the troops staying out there. They will go for it. Fourth down. Here's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
First and 10.
Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Trubisky's throw pulled in by Robinson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
What we got?
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He finds Robinson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, now Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Throwing now is Carr. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Watch 81, watch 81.
On play action, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Trubisky will throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. It's complete to Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go play action with Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception, but not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This one into the hands of Burton. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, his first touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. To throw his Carr. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Carr now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. We were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Welcome back now here in London. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Carr to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he's got his man Hilton. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out.
Result of the play, 1st down and 10.
180. 59. 808. Stop here, D. Mike 59. Mike 59. Hey, Haywood.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Pass from Trubisky taken in by Gabriel. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 47-yard line.
Go! 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A little bit of space there for the 1st down run as that's going to get them about 5 yards. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
180! He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They try again with Cohen. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game, his third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, box truck.
Now Carr. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw is Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed-out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route-running savvy.
This is caught inside the 15. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strike.
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little, too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
So this likely just to get the final score a bit closer given the time remaining, but they'll have a go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Well, that's true. You've said that before.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 40. And Trubisky down to a knee, and that is all she wrote. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So for the Bears, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And now it's off to